Have you ever wondered about the forbidden fruit from the Garden of Eden? For centuries, people have debated what it truly was. Was it an apple? Was it a symbol for something deeper, like wisdom or temptation? Most of us have heard the popular version of the story, but the truth behind it might surprise you. In this video, we will explore an ancient mystery that has puzzled humanity for generations. The forbidden fruit was not just an ordinary fruit. According to some ancient texts, including the Book of Enoch, its identity is far more complex and fascinating than you might think. What was it about this fruit that changed everything for Adam and Eve? And why has its mystery endured for so long? This journey will take us into the heart of the Garden of Eden, where Enoch, a man who walked with God, saw incredible things that were hidden from most of humanity. Prepare yourself for a revelation that could change the way you think about this ancient story. The answer is not what you expect. Enoch is one of the most mysterious figures in biblical history. Unlike many others, he had the extraordinary privilege of walking with God and receiving divine revelations. Among these visions was a journey to the Garden of Eden, a place most humans could never see again after Adam and Eve's expulsion. In his writings, Enoch described the garden in breathtaking detail. He spoke of lush trees with fragrant blossoms, streams that sparkled as they flowed, and a serene atmosphere that seemed to radiate life itself. Yet, amidst this paradise, one tree stood out, the tree of knowledge. It was unlike any other tree in the garden, with its towering height, unique leaves, and fruits that shimmered like clusters of jewels. Enoch's vision didn't stop at just observing the garden. He was guided by an angel who revealed secrets about its history and the role it played in humanity's fall. The angel explained that this sacred place wasn't just a physical paradise, but also a symbol of humanity's relationship with God. One detail that stood out in Enoch's account was the description of the tree of knowledge. He described its fruits as clusters of grapes, radiant, fragrant, and beautiful. Could it be that the forbidden fruit, which changed the course of human history, was not an apple as we've been told, but something far more significant? As Enoch gazed at the tree, he felt a mixture of awe and sadness. It was a reminder of the perfection that was lost and the consequences of disobedience. This vision, recorded in the Book of Enoch, offers a perspective on the Garden of Eden that few have ever considered. The story of the serpent's temptation in the Garden of Eden is one of the most well-known accounts in the Bible. Traditionally, many people believe that the serpent was Lucifer, the fallen angel who rebelled against God. But what if this common belief is not entirely accurate? The Book of Enoch provides a surprising twist, revealing a different culprit behind the temptation of Eve. In Enoch's writings, the serpent is identified not as Lucifer, but as a fallen angel named Gadriel. Gadriel was cunning, deceptive, and skilled at manipulation. Unlike the traditional view of the serpent as a symbolic representation of evil, Enoch portrays Gadriel as a celestial being who took on the form of a serpent to carry out his plan. According to the Book of Enoch, Gadriel approached Eve in the garden with a specific purpose: to lead her away from God's command. He began by planting a seed of doubt in her mind. "Did God really say you cannot eat from any tree in the garden?" he asked. This question was designed to make Eve question God's word. Eve, unaware of Gadriel's intentions, responded honestly, saying, "We may eat the fruit of the trees, but the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden we must not touch, or we will die." Gadriel's reply was both calculated and deceitful. He told her, "You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil." This statement contained just enough truth to make it convincing. While it was true that eating the fruit would give Adam and Eve knowledge, it also came with devastating consequences. Gadriel used Eve's natural curiosity and desire for wisdom against her. By presenting the fruit as a pathway to enlightenment, he made disobedience seem like a noble act rather than a violation of God's command. This subtle manipulation highlights the danger of half-truths, which can often be more deceptive than outright lies. When Eve looked at the fruit, it appeared beautiful and desirable. She saw it as a chance to gain wisdom and become more like God. Overcome by temptation, she took the fruit and ate it. Then she shared it with Adam, completing the act that would change the course of human history. This chapter of the story introduces Gadriel as a significant player in the events that led to humanity's fall. While Lucifer remains the leader of the fallen angels, the Book of Enoch reveals that Gadriel played a direct role in the temptation of Eve. His cunning plan set humanity on a path of struggle, separation from God, and the pursuit of redemption. The Tree of Knowledge, central to the story of humanity's fall, has intrigued and mystified scholars and believers for centuries. While many envision it as a simple tree with an ordinary fruit, Enoch's account offers a far more vivid and detailed description. His writings take us deeper into the mystery, revealing the true nature of this tree and the forbidden fruit. Enoch described the Tree of Knowledge as towering and majestic, unlike anything else in the Garden of Eden. Its leaves resembled those of the carob tree, broad and lush, providing shade and a sense of awe. The fruit it bore was extraordinary. Organized in clusters like grapes, it glistened in the sunlight, radiating an intoxicating fragrance that filled the surrounding air. This fruit was not just visually appealing, it held immense symbolic power. According to the angel Raphael, who guided Enoch through the garden, the fruit of this tree was the source of wisdom. "This is the tree from which your ancestors Adam and Eve ate," Raphael explained. "It opened their eyes to the knowledge of good and evil, but it also led to their expulsion from paradise." The symbolism of the fruit is profound. It represents the human desire for knowledge, enlightenment, and power. However, as Raphael revealed, this desire came at a great cost. Consuming the fruit granted Adam and Eve the ability to discern right from wrong, but it also brought shame, guilt, and a painful awareness of their own mortality. Enoch's description of the tree and its fruit challenges the traditional depiction of the forbidden fruit as an apple. Instead, his account suggests that the fruit may have been grapes, a detail that aligns with the tree's association with wisdom and divine knowledge. Grapes, often symbolic of abundance and blessings in the Bible, take on a different meaning here, one of temptation, disobedience, and loss. The angel Raphael emphasized the dual nature of the fruit. It held both beauty and danger, wisdom and consequence. By choosing to eat it, Adam and Eve made a decision that would forever alter their relationship with God and the world around them. This act of defiance, though driven by curiosity and a desire for growth, led to their downfall and humanity's enduring struggle with sin. Enoch's account sheds light on the deeper significance of the Tree of Knowledge. It was not just a physical tree, but a symbol of the choices that define humanity. The fruit, radiant and alluring, represented the ultimate test of obedience and faith. And in their decision to eat, Adam and Eve set a precedent for all of humanity. The pursuit of knowledge comes with profound responsibilities and consequences. For centuries, the forbidden fruit has been a subject of debate. While many believe it to be an apple, Enoch's description points to a different possibility: grapes. But why grapes? Could they hold a deeper meaning in the story of Adam and Eve, and what makes them significant in the context of biblical symbolism? In the Bible, grapes are often associated with abundance, fertility, and blessings. They appear in pivotal moments, symbolizing prosperity and God's favor. For example, when Moses sent spies to explore the land of Canaan, they returned carrying an enormous cluster of grapes as proof of the land's richness. This image of overflowing bounty resonated as a sign of divine promise. The New Testament also uses grapes as a powerful metaphor. Jesus referred to himself as the true vine, describing the intimate relationship between himself and his followers. "I am the vine, you are the branches," he said, emphasizing the spiritual connection and dependence on God to bear good fruit. In this light, the idea that the forbidden fruit could have been grapes carries profound implications. Grapes symbolize not just abundance, but also responsibility. Their sweet and intoxicating nature reflects the allure of knowledge and the consequences of indulging in it without understanding its full weight. Enoch's description of the fruit aligns with this symbolism. He spoke of clusters of grapes that exuded an alluring fragrance, drawing Eve closer to the tree. The fruit's beauty and aroma made it impossible for her to resist, especially when paired with the serpent's cunning words. It wasn't just the fruit's appearance that tempted her. It was what it represented: wisdom, power, and the chance to become like God. This connection between grapes and the forbidden fruit may also explain why wine made from grapes has deep spiritual significance in the Bible. Wine is used in celebrations, rituals, and covenants, symbolizing joy and union with God. But it also serves as a reminder of judgment and consequence, as seen in the book of Revelation, where the grapes of wrath are harvested and pressed in God's winepress. If the forbidden fruit was indeed grapes, It adds a new layer of meaning to the story of Adam and Eve. Their choice to eat the fruit was not just an act of disobedience, but a decision to embrace the complexities of knowledge and independence. Grapes, with their dual symbolism of blessing and judgment, perfectly encapsulate the paradox of humanity's fall. A pursuit of wisdom that came at the cost of innocence. The possibility that the forbidden fruit was grapes challenges the traditional narrative and invites us to look deeper into its symbolism. It forces us to consider the weight of our own choices and the responsibilities that come with seeking knowledge. Like Adam and Eve, we are drawn to the allure of wisdom, but we must also face the consequences of what we learn. The story of the forbidden fruit is not just about a physical act of eating, but about the pursuit of something deeper, knowledge. Adam and Eve's decision to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge changed the course of humanity forever. It was a moment that revealed the dual nature of knowledge, as a gift and a burden. When Eve first gazed at the forbidden fruit, she saw more than just its beauty. The serpent's words made her believe that consuming it would unlock secrets only known to God. "You will not surely die," the serpent said. "For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil." These words planted a desire in Eve, one that many humans can relate to. The yearning to know more, to understand the world, and to gain control over one's destiny. When Adam and Eve ate the fruit, their eyes were opened, just as the serpent promised. But instead of enlightenment leading to joy, they felt shame and fear. For the first time, they became aware of their nakedness, a realization that symbolized their vulnerability and separation from the innocence they once had. This newfound knowledge came with a price. They were no longer at peace in the paradise they called home. God's response to their disobedience was swift and severe. He questioned them, asking Adam, "Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, and Eve, in turn, blamed the serpent. This passing of blame showed how knowledge of good and evil brought not only awareness but also division. Relationships that were once harmonious became marked by conflict and mistrust. As a consequence of their actions, Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden. Their lives became marked by hardship, toil for Adam, and pain in childbirth for Eve. They were separated from the presence of God, forced to navigate a world where they had to rely on their newfound knowledge to survive. But the story of the forbidden fruit is not just about punishment. It also serves as a reminder of the responsibility that comes with knowledge. The tree of knowledge was not forbidden because God wanted to withhold wisdom. Instead, it represented a boundary, a test of trust and obedience. By crossing that boundary, Adam and Eve gained something they were not ready for, the ability to discern good and evil. This duality is reflected in humanity's history. The pursuit of knowledge has led to incredible advancements from science to art, but it has also brought destruction. Innovations can heal or harm, and understanding can unite or divide. The story of the forbidden fruit reminds us that knowledge is powerful, but it must be accompanied by wisdom and humility. Enoch's account adds depth to this theme. By describing the fruit as clusters of grapes, he ties the pursuit of knowledge to themes of abundance and consequence. Just as grapes can produce wine that brings joy or drunkenness, the forbidden fruit brought both enlightenment and suffering. It is a lesson that continues to resonate. The choices we make in our quest for knowledge shape our lives and the world around us. One of the most enduring misconceptions about the forbidden fruit is that it was an apple. This idea has been deeply ingrained in popular culture, but it is not based on biblical text. In fact, the Bible never specifies what type of fruit Adam and Eve consumed from the tree of knowledge. So how did the apple come to symbolize humanity's fall? The connection between the apple and the forbidden fruit can be traced back to the Latin language. In Latin, the word malum has two meanings. It can refer to an apple, but it also means evil or sin. This linguistic coincidence likely influenced early Christian interpretations of the story. Over time, this association grew stronger, embedding the apple as a symbol of sin and temptation in Western culture. During the Renaissance period, artists began to depict the Garden of Eden in their works, and they often chose the apple as the fruit in their imagery. One of the most iconic examples is Michelangelo's fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, where Adam and Eve are shown reaching for an apple. These artistic depictions solidified the image of the apple as the forbidden fruit in the minds of many. This association was further reinforced by literature and folklore. The apple's symbolic use as a fruit of temptation appeared in countless stories, aligning with the idea of the forbidden fruit. It was easy to visualize and recognize, making it a convenient symbol for sin and disobedience. Interestingly, the King James Bible, one of the most influential English translations, does not specify the type of fruit either. This ambiguity left room for interpretation, and the apple became the default choice due to its cultural prevalence. However, there is no direct evidence in the scriptures to support the idea that the forbidden fruit was an apple. Enoch's account challenges this long-held belief. By describing the fruit as clusters of grapes, he provides an alternative perspective that aligns more closely with the symbolism of wisdom and responsibility. Grapes, as mentioned earlier, hold significant spiritual meaning in the Bible, often representing abundance, covenant, and divine blessings. This makes them a fitting candidate for the forbidden fruit. The misconception about the apple is a reminder of how language, art, and culture can shape our understanding of ancient stories. While it is a powerful symbol, the apple may not be the true forbidden fruit. Enoch's detailed description encourages us to reconsider what we think we know and to explore deeper meanings behind the story. The identity of the forbidden fruit remains a mystery, but one thing is clear: its significance lies not in its physical form, but in what it represents. Whether it was an apple, grapes, or another fruit entirely, its role in the story is to remind us of the consequences of our choices and the price of seeking knowledge without understanding its cost. The story of the forbidden fruit is more than just an account of Adam and Eve's disobedience. It is a profound exploration of human nature, choices, and the consequences that come with them. Whether the forbidden fruit was an apple, grapes, or something else entirely, its symbolism holds deep meaning that continues to resonate across cultures and generations. The forbidden fruit represents humanity's desire to go beyond boundaries, to seek wisdom and understanding, even when warned of the risks. When Adam and Eve ate the fruit, they gained the knowledge of good and evil, but it came at a steep price. Their eyes were opened, and they became aware of their own vulnerability, shame, and mortality. This act of defiance marked the beginning of humanity's separation from God and introduced pain, toil, and suffering into the human experience. Enoch's account adds another layer to this story. By describing the fruit as grapes, he ties the narrative to themes of abundance and responsibility. Grapes often symbolize blessings in the Bible, but they also carry connotations of judgment, as seen in the book of Revelation, where the grapes of wrath are crushed in God's winepress. This dual symbolism reminds us that every blessing comes with accountability, and every choice has consequences. The legacy of the forbidden fruit also challenges us to reflect on the nature of temptation. The serpent's words to Eve were carefully crafted to appeal to her curiosity and desire for wisdom. He promised that eating the fruit would make her like God, knowing good and evil. This promise was partially true, but it hid the full cost of disobedience. The story serves as a cautionary tale about the danger of half-truths and the importance of discernment. The forbidden fruit's legacy extends beyond the Garden of Eden. It is a story that mirrors the struggles we face in our own lives. Every day, we are presented with choices that test our values, faith, and integrity. Like Adam and Eve, we must weigh the allure of immediate gratification against the long-term consequences of our actions. The story also offers hope. Although Adam and Eve were expelled from the garden, their journey did not end there. Humanity's story became one of redemption, resilience, and the search for reconciliation with God. The forbidden fruit may symbolize humanity's fall, but it also highlights our potential for growth, learning, and transformation. This legacy invites us to consider our own relationship with knowledge and power. Do we seek wisdom responsibly, or are we tempted by the allure of shortcuts and half-truths? The story of the forbidden fruit is not just about the past. It is a timeless reminder of the choices we make and the values we uphold. As we reflect on this story, we are reminded of its enduring relevance. The forbidden fruit may remain a mystery, but its lessons are clear. The forbidden fruit may remain a mystery, but its lessons are clear. It challenges us to approach knowledge with humility, to resist the lure of temptation, and to embrace the responsibilities that come with understanding. In doing so, we honor the lessons of the garden and strive to build a better future. The mystery of the forbidden fruit is more than just a story. It's a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest struggles with temptation, wisdom, and the consequences of our choices. Was it an apple, grapes, or something even more symbolic? While the true identity may remain unknown, the lessons it carries are crystal clear. Every choice we make shapes our path, and with great knowledge comes great responsibility. Enoch's extraordinary visions give us a glimpse into the hidden truths of the Garden of Eden, challenging us to think beyond the surface and explore the profound meanings behind the scriptures. What do you think the forbidden fruit was? Could it have been grapes? Or do you have a completely different theory? If you found this story thought-provoking, like this video, share your own ideas in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of the Bible and ancient texts. Your support helps us continue uncovering the hidden truths that shape our understanding of faith and history. Stay curious, stay inspired, and as always, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.